Beautiful Taurians, how are you guys? This is Debs, and this is your reading for mid-November 2025, Taurus. In meditation, I saw a woman in a really small car, and she was approaching a massive tunnel that had been carved out in a rock face. And she was sort of gripping the steering wheel, steeling herself. Oh, I really don't like this. I really don't want to do this, but I've got to do it. I've got to go through this tunnel because I need to get to the other side. And so she slowed right down and she gingerly drove through this really long tunnel. There weren't very many lights. It was very dim in the tunnel and there weren't many cars. She felt as if she was sort of on her own. Eventually, she came out into the light, out the other side of this tunnel. She pulled over. She got out of the car. She breathed a sigh of relief and she looked out at this lovely view and she said to herself, okay, that's done. What is next? And that's when the vision ended, Taurus. So guys, you may have felt in the dark, you may have felt that you were sort of a little bit on your own, right? You may have felt the only way is through. I can't take a detour. The only way is through. But you might have felt also a bit claustrophobic. I feel the energy, Taurus, is you've been through the storm. You've come out the other side. There's still a question mark as to what you want to do now, but what I want to say, Taurus, is sort of the worst is over. You know, the scary bit is done. So, guys, let's get into this. I'm feeling a sense of calm. Yeah. You may want to spend some time by yourself. You may feel you need some time to think about what you want to do going forward. You may, Taurus, have ended a relationship. Might have been a big blow up. It might be, Taurus, that you've simply ended a cycle where you felt held down, where you felt claustrophobic, where you were a little bit in the dark, don't quite know what I'm doing here. You've closed something out, Taurus, and the sun's come out, but you have to be active now in making some kind of plan for your future, okay? All right, guys, so the deck is the Marchetti deck. As you know, everything is listed down below in the description box, as usual. So Archangel Michael, what do we have for my lovely Taurians? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, male or female? What do we have for my lovely Taurians? So weird, this woman's pondering, she's musing, she's saying to herself, I'm really glad I had my seatbelt on because I didn't know what would happen driving through that tunnel. All right, Taurus, you may have gone through something difficult, but you may have thought to yourself, I have some kind of protection around me. It's all symbolism, guys. You may have known that you would have got through this, but you really weren't looking forward to it, you know? Okay, this one moved, this card. Magician, Virgo, Scorpio, Gemini. I feel that the divine, Taurus, is saying to you, you are powerful. More powerful than you were before. It might be because of what you've handled, what you've managed, what you've coped with. You might have been in a situation with a Virgo, a Scorpio, or a Gemini who might have been a little bit underhanded. And I don't want to upset anyone, but the Magician can signify sometimes a little bit of shadow energy. You want to be careful what you try and manifest, right? Okay. Yeah, the Nine of Wands. I'm seeing you come out of this tunnel. You got out the car, right? You're looking at the light thinking, oh, thank God for that. Thank God for that. Okay. Nine of Wands. Crossing that, Taurus, yes, is the Four of Swords. You're resting, you're relaxing, you're thinking. You may be recovering from something difficult. If you were having to deal with other people, chaos, drama around you, arguments, you've definitely shifted yourself into a place of peace. So you could have even left an environment or gone away for a few days on your own to think. There's a sense, Taurus, you just wanted to be by yourself. I just need to clear my head. Okay. In the past, my lovely Taurians, the Hermit. You might have had issues with a Virgo who may have been holding back from you. They may have been going through some kind of midlife crisis. They might have been trying to find their path, but in the process, Taurus, they may have sort of pulled you onto some kind of roller coaster. Very emotionally up and down, didn't really know what they wanted. They may have taken impulsive action and then regretted it. They may then have disconnected from you completely, and you may have been sat there in confusion. Well, what is going on with this person? After that time, Taurus, the Hanged Man, Pisces energy. After that time, Taurus, you saw things very, very differently. You may have realized that you were keeping yourself stuck with somebody who didn't really know what they wanted, who they wanted, where they wanted to go in life. You may have felt that you were this person's grounding force, but because they caused you some upheaval, some stress, you detached and you weren't there for this person to lean on anymore. And it may have been a wake-up call, Taurus, quite how powerful you were, or quite how significant you were in this person's life. And I'm saying were, Taurus, because I believe this is a connection that you've just ended. If you haven't physically ended it, as in you haven't said to this person it's over, you've definitely emotionally detached. But there's a strength rising up within you, which is wonderful. In your thoughts, the devil. Yeah. Taurus, unless you're thinking of a Capricorn, what you've realized was, wow, I was actually held in a really toxic situation for quite a long time. It's almost as if a light bulb went off in your head. Oh my God, I'm suddenly seeing this person for who they really are, or I'm seeing the situation very clearly, with your feet on the ground, using your logic. You may have gone over facts in your head. And again, there may have been a bit of a shocking revelation. In the immediate future, guys, yeah, 6 of Cups. You're thinking about the past. You're thinking about memories you shared with this person. You could be thinking of children at this time. Or Taurus, you may even be going way, way back, almost down a rabbit hole relating to your own childhood. In your fears, guys, yeah, okay, 5 of Wands. You're fearing, Taurus, that the drama isn't over. You're fearing, Taurus, that conflict may spark up again, fire up again. Or maybe you're fearing staying in your head in internal conflict, not wanting to make any firm decision going forward for a while. It's as if I've just been through the storm. I've just sort of put everything together, pieced everything together. I'm just coming to terms with this new situation, or basically getting clarity that this was a toxic situation. And Taurus, it may be that you just can't face making major decisions at the moment. You're sat there, 4 of Swords, or you're relaxing here, you're healing here, you're recovering here, and it's as if I just need a few days. I just need a few days. Now, whoever is in your environment who is most significant at this point of time, Justice, okay. Could be a Libra. This could be, Taurus, someone who is trying to talk to you about a legal contract. This is someone who may want justice to be done. This is someone who could be talking to you about balancing a situation. All right. Okay. We'll see, Taurus. In your hopes, guys, Judgment. You're hoping, Taurus, that if you do have to make a major decision, it's the right one. Hoping to make the right decision. You may be hoping, for some of you, to have a serious sit-down conversation with a Sag, if that's relevant. The Judgment energy is Sagittarius. And the outcome, Page of Wands. Good news, Taurus. Good news. Okay. So, guys, I love this energy because you are letting go of a really difficult cycle. Something came to light. Something might even have been a bit shocking. Realizing that you were actually held in a situation with a lot of shadow energy. This is you recovering. This is you seeing things differently. You're pulled into nostalgia a little bit in the immediate future. Someone in the environment wants to balance the situation out, or somebody wants to talk to you about a contract. And there's good news and manifestation in your future. You're closing out a cycle. 9 is you shifting towards a 10. And pages start from the very beginning. So this new cycle for you, Taurus, is going to be quite exciting. But you may have to think outside the box. You may have to move out of your comfort zone and be a little bit creative. Okay? Yes. So, guys, clarification for you, Ace of Swords. So, Taurus, the truth came out. The truth came out. Temperance. Again, there may have been a connection here with a Sag, but we've also, of course, got Libra, Pisces, Cancerian energy, Virgo, Capricorn. A truth came out, Taurus. And I feel you took in the information, went a little bit down a rabbit hole through this tunnel in your head, stressing out a little bit. You're out the other side. You got yourself grounded. And what you're thinking about is, okay, now I have everything out in front of me. I know exactly what went on. I have all the facts. What do I want now? What do I want now? Clarification for whomever is talking to you about justice. 7 of Swords. Okay. Taurus, this is someone who didn't behave the right way. This is someone who may have been a bit underhanded. They may have done something they weren't proud of. Okay. And they don't want to talk. They don't want to talk. This is the equivalent of someone who hurt you or betrayed you or deceived you. It's almost as if they're coming to terms with the fact that you found out something and they just can't face the music. I'm not suggesting they're sitting in a little bit of a scared energy, but they are, because they either hadn't admitted to themselves that what they were doing wasn't right, or they simply, Taurus, didn't want to face your wrath. Okay? They didn't want to face a showdown. So this is someone who may be avoiding talking about this issue. This is somebody who may avoid a conversation or avoid you. They may be trying to say to you, Taurus, I will never do that again. I will never, ever sit in the 7 of Swords again. I want to bring balance to the situation. They could be. We will see. Underneath the deck, Taurus, we have the 10 of Pentacles. You may be wanting to hang on to your stability or manifest greater stability. The Death card, Scorpio. Taurus, for some of you, you may be considering whether or not you want to end a 10 of Pentacles relationship, or whether or not you can transform a Ten of Pentacles relationship. But whatever's going on here, Taurus, you're putting your thinking cap on. This is a spark of a brilliant idea. This is you getting very excited about this. I'm not getting a sense of anger. Page of Wands can be an angry message, but I'm not getting that. I think this is you deciding that if something can be sorted out, if a connection can be mended, this person, whoever they are, because I feel this is the person that you had issues with, is going to have to accept the ending of a specific cycle or an ending of a pattern of behavior, and they're going to have to give you the reins. It may be, Taurus, you're saying to this person, well, I would consider keeping you in my life, but you would have to follow my lead, and this is what we would need to do. No ifs or buts. They would have to agree to exactly what you're suggesting. All right, guys. So, Taurus, you're sitting thinking about the Nine of Wands and the Four of Swords. You're recovering after a very difficult, painful, heavy situation. You're out the other side, okay? You are out the other side. Ace of Cups, and you've been sitting in self-love. You've been sitting in self-love. After I feel accepting an apology from someone. I'm so sorry, Taurus. I'm so sorry. You've accepted their apology, but I'm hearing it doesn't change what happened in the past. That still needs to be evaluated. That still needs to be evaluated. And the cards are being difficult. Yes, because somebody took a massive leap of faith and a risk. Could have related to an Aries for some of you. And it caused a lot of problems, Taurus. Yeah, there were a lot of arguments, a lot of drama relating to whatever risk this person took. Yeah, it could have led to a very imbalanced situation financially. This person could have risked your family stability. It could be, Taurus, you might have, in the last few days, considered divorce, considered it, dividing the assets. You might have been so angry. You may have said to this person, okay, well, I think that's done. I think this is over. If this is a romance. You may be thinking about your financial stability going forward. You may be in your head dividing up sums of money. It could be thinking about what you need, the essentials. You could be thinking about other people in the mix. It could be children, okay? In the past, Taurus, the Hermit, I feel this is someone that you were dealing with who might have gone through a wobble. It might have put a lot of pressure on you. This could be somebody who might have gone through a very difficult time psychologically. You know, who am I? Where am I going? What do I want? They might have given in to temptation in the past. You may have called them out, Taurus. You may have found out something. And then this person just completely detached. Detached from you, might have spent a little bit of time away, might have detached from their own emotion. The World. Okay. They may even have headed off on their own, taken a trip somewhere. What they realized was this was the end of a specific cycle that they may have been indulging in because they may have felt, Taurus, something was missing, or they may have been seduced into another situation, or they may have developed a very toxic pattern of behavior, almost as, How strange. I'm hearing a self-soothing mechanism because it made them feel good, right? This could be somebody that might have begun to drink a great deal because they loved the feeling of being able to escape, not looking at the reality of where they were. And Taurus, I don't think this had anything to do with you. I feel this had primarily something to do with this person trying to find themselves. But of course, it rebounded on you because I feel you were connected to this person. Whether or not, Taurus, this is a family member, whether or not this was your partner, it rebounded really badly on you. Yeah. So Taurus, they moved themselves to calmer waters. They came to terms with what they had done, is what I'm hearing. They came to terms with what they'd done. Yeah, King of Swords. They were in some ways strategic. They hid what they were doing from you. And afterwards, it's almost as if they were so mortified that you found out, they just completely detached from you, detached from their emotions. They turned cold and they took themselves off, whether or not that was physically, psychologically, to think about how things would pan out going forward. They may have primarily been thinking, Taurus, what you would want to do. Okay, well now Taurus has found out about this. I wonder what decision Taurus is going to make. I do feel, guys, I'm connecting with a female, okay, if you wondered. After that time, Taurus, you saw things very differently. And it may have been a bit of a shock because the life that you had been living was sort of turned on its head. Or the person you thought that you were connecting with, you may have realized was actually holding a bit of a dark secret. That's what I'm getting here. It all came out. You saw things completely differently. Four of Cups. There might have been a conversation with or about a Pisces with the energy of the Hangman. This Pisces may not have been very happy. Or Taurus, if there was no Pisces involved, this is you simply seeing things differently. Oh my gosh, we're in this toxic situation. It might be, Taurus, you tried to talk to this person from the past, coming through as the King of Swords, but they may have kept their distance. They may have said to you, I'm sorry, but I don't want to talk about it. It could be out of a sense of mortification. I can't believe Taurus found out, right? Something like that. I think this person was just highly embarrassed. That's what I'm getting. That's what I'm getting. Yeah. Taurus, you looked at the past thinking, wow, this comes out now after all this time. You may have been with this person 7 years, or you could have been with this person 20, 30 years. Again, partner, family member. Okay. I think, Taurus, if you look at this person, they've got a hat pulled down over their eyes. I think, Taurus, this is you thinking, okay, I know they want to work on this, but I can't talk to this person right now. So I think you two, in shock for different reasons, pulled away from each other. You tried to keep yourself busy with other things. And I think this person disconnected from you emotionally out of embarrassment that you found out something. So Taurus, the worst is over, okay, which is really good news for you. You've come out the other side. You come out of this dark tunnel. You're sitting looking at this view. You're breathing. It's okay. It's okay. It's like done. That difficult time that I went through is over. But now a whole new chapter's opening up for you. And you're not quite sure what you want to create within that new chapter. What do I want? Do I want to stay connected with this person that caused these issues? Do they want to stay connected to me? You're sitting thinking about the toxicity of this, but Taurus, I can't help but feel the relief is you know everything now. It may have all come out in a rush, either by putting pressure on this person or something you found out, or they could have just admitted everything. So whatever this was pretty major. What is your instinct telling you with the Devil? Two of Pentacles. Yeah. That you've got a decision to make. It might involve juggling money, which could be a little bit scary. You've got a decision to make, Taurus. The Star, Aquarian energy. Do you want to try and heal this? If this person is happy to let go of a toxic cycle or pattern of behavior that they've developed, or do you want to let this go? You're not quite sure, Taurus, what you want to do here. The Hierophant, this is you. Now, this could be about you wondering whether or not you want to heal a marriage. This could be your husband. You may be, Taurus, thinking about following a very traditional path. You may be sunk deeply into your spirituality, Taurus. You may be thinking about the law of karma, manifestation, the universe, the angels, the archangels. You may be delving further into your spirituality, almost, Taurus, as a way to guide you through this time. You could be. So in the immediate future, we have the Six of Cups. You're pulled right back into nostalgia. You could be thinking of your own childhood. You could be thinking about your children. But this is a very innocent energy. You know, we have a little child here. We've got a unicorn. We've got a teddy bear. We've got a kitten. It's all very sweet and innocent. I don't know, Taurus, whether or not you're looking back thinking, gosh, you know, I really felt I was in some kind of ideal, happily ever after situation. What I'm realizing now is whoever this person was seeped in this dark, heavy shadow energy, and you just didn't know. You just didn't know. You might have put this person on a pedestal. You may have seen them as someone very strong, somebody filled with integrity, somebody that you could look up to. But later you realize, Taurus, this person may have had a very deep shadow side, a shadow side that they've been fighting against for the longest time, that came out and sort of spread like a rash, and it just became worse and worse and worse. And when you found out about this, Taurus, I think your whole world just disintegrated. It's as if, oh my God, you're this person? I thought you were someone completely different. Yeah. So back to the immediate future, you're seeped in nostalgia, okay? It may well be that looking back, you're realizing that this person wasn't as sweet and innocent as you thought they were. It may be, Taurus, you're looking back to when your children grew up. It may be, Taurus, you're thinking about how you were brought up. Whoever this person is, this King of Swords who was strategic and a little bit cold emotionally, they either don't want to talk about the fact that they were deceptive, or they don't want to talk about their shadow, all this toxic energy they reveled in for a period of time. This is someone who may agree to divorce, Taurus, if this is your husband. They may say to you, okay, well, yeah, sorry about that. Okay, I think we should divorce. Taurus, I don't think you want to be as black and white about it. It's almost as if they're calling your bluff. All right, Taurus, well, I'm sorry about what I did. If you feel that you can't get over this, then we should divorce. And you may be looking at this person thinking, wow, okay, you'd really chuck away all the years we spent together because you can't genuinely apologize. You can't open up to talk to me about this. You're just shutting down. You may feel very angry. Well, at least I deserve a proper explanation as to why you felt you had to sit in this shadow. It may be, Taurus, that contrary to that, they're saying to you, I will never behave that way again. I'm going to balance out my life. I want to bring you justice. This may not be a marriage, Taurus. This could be a family member. They might want to talk to you about a legal contract, and it could be relating to trying to sort this out. So, guys, let's get some timing from Archangel Michael. Archangel Michael, when do we have the Six of Cups on justice for my lovely Taurians? Thank you, Michael. 13th of January, straight out, really? Okay. So Taurus, a couple of months, okay, surprisingly, right? Mid-November. I think you're going to ride over the rest of the year into early Jan, almost get it over and done with, okay? It might be that you want to start a brand new year with a clear head. You may want to touch base with members of your family. You may have festivities organised and you don't want that to be blighted by making a major decision just before Christmas, for instance. Let's have a look at your person. Tell us about this King of Swords. What is justice about? Okay. They may tell you that they did sabotage what was a lovely balanced relationship or connection with you. What else are they going to say? They're going to hold back from sitting in the Seven of Swords again. Leo energy. All right. Moon. This is someone, Taurus, if the truth were known, who's actually sitting in a lot of very mixed emotions, and they are feeling scared. They're feeling scared. They may be feeling, Taurus, that as far as you're concerned, this is really done. Or this could be a family member who's scared, Taurus, that you're going to boot them out, okay, or just not want anything to do with them. They're sitting in a lot of fear. They may even fear, Taurus, their health deteriorating for some reason. Cancerian energy. Yeah, Four of Pentacles. Okay, Taurus. They're scared about sitting on the breadline. They're worried about money. But Taurus, I also feel this person doesn't want to lose you. Despite what they did, they don't want to lose you. And silently, quite desperately, wanting to hang on to you. Why do I feel that the tables have turned, Taurus? Why do I feel as if you put this person on a pedestal? You almost idolize this person, right? Thought that they were holier than thou, thought that they would never do anything in a million years that related to shadow energy. And then something came out, your whole world disintegrated, and everything switched. Hangman, everything's turned on its head. You are now the strength. You are now the powerful force. You're the one holding this whole thing together now, whilst this person is sort of meekly following your lead. Okay, Taurus, you think we should do this? Okay, yes, that's great. All right, let's do that. Because they know, Taurus, that the alternative is if they started to be stubborn about the situation, or if they started to say, well, hang on, Taurus, no, you would just turn around and say, all right, I'm walking, this is done. All right, you head off, you do what you want to do. They know you're on a really fine line, Taurus. They are treading on eggshells around you. So I think this is somebody who's going to do whatever you feel you need to do or you want to do to keep this together, to keep you in their life. Yeah. Wow. They know that they betrayed you because they are thinking that they sat in the Seven of Swords. Wow. They know they betrayed you, Taurus. It's as if they can't believe they did that. I think they got pulled into something that became a rather toxic habit. It could have been anything, Taurus. It could be they had a gambling issue and, you know, they spent all the family money on a gambling issue that they kept hidden. And you might have seen a bank statement and said to this person, where the hell's all our savings? And it might have come out. It could be this person had a drinking issue. And you might have got a phone call from somebody to say, sorry, but this person had their number on your phone. They passed out somewhere. Can you go and collect them? This person may have hidden a drinking issue for a very long time. This could be somebody, Taurus, who cheated on you or was addicted to, I don't know, nefarious websites. And what you found out, Taurus, shocked you. And you might have realized the depth of this person's need for whatever this obsession was. And it wasn't healthy, Taurus. Yeah. Anyway. They don't know what you're going to do, but they are meekly following your lead. You are the powerhouse now, Taurus. They're following whatever you want to do. They're doing it without question. Yeah. 9 of Swords. 9 of Swords. Yeah. Deep down, Taurus, this is someone who loves you. This is someone who cares about you. But you know, you've seen the truth. And this is you having to make a decision. Do you still want to keep this person in your life? Whether or not this is a partner, whether or not this is somebody that you're close to. You're thinking about the past. You may even be thinking, Taurus, wow, they've hidden this for a very long time, this toxic behavior. And I thought this person was, you know, sweet and innocent. So, my lovely Taurians, you are talking to this person about the past. Yeah, okay, yeah. This is you, I think, Taurus. Queen of Coins, Queen of Pentacles, Knight of Swords. You are going to say to this person, I was angry. Because if you felt this person didn't want to face Judgment Day or this person didn't want to talk about it, you want them to know that whatever you found out floored you. Floored you. You're not wanting them to get away with pushing this under the carpet. You're wanting to talk about this. Even if it's mortifying, embarrassing for this person. What do you want to talk to them about? You want to talk to them about a home, a property. You want to talk to them about stability. Okay. Yeah. And you're not messing around. Queen of Swords. Yeah. Yeah. You may be saying to this person, this has been an unequal give and take situation for a very long time. Or you may have been financially supporting this person for a long time. And what you're realizing is you were simply feeding their habit, whatever that was. You may be saying to this person that it's been very difficult for you. You're not sitting in your natural, lovely, warm, nurturing energy. You've shifted into the Queen of Swords, out of shock, out of hurt. Because you've needed to protect yourself. Yeah. And you're a little bit guarded. You're a little bit guarded, Taurus. You're a little bit defensive because what you're thinking about is 7 of Cups. Is this going to continue? Or how long has this person actually been doing this? All these questions, you may question them. And basically, Taurus, you're not going to get a lot out of them other than, I'm really sorry, I'll never do it again. What can I do to balance things out? I do care about you. They don't want to talk about the issue. They just don't want to talk about it. They're going to skate over questions to do with this issue, addiction, toxic pattern of behavior. They're refusing to talk about it. But they will talk about what you would agree to, Taurus, if you decided to keep them in your life. What is the energy between you two? High Priestess. So this is going to be a one-off conversation. A one-off conversation. You may try to get as much as you can out of this person, but Taurus, I don't think you're going to get very far. As soon as you start talking about whatever this issue, obsession, toxic pattern of behavior actually was, they're going to shut down. Okay? Just be prepared for that. No matter how much you cajole them, say it's okay, we can talk about it, they just don't want to talk about it. No. Not talking about this. But what they do want to talk about, Taurus, is how to mend this. They may say to you, okay, Taurus, if you agree to keeping me in your life, whoever this person is, I do not want to talk about this again. I can't face talking to you about this again. But you're both using your intuition as to what both of you want going forward. You're trying to figure out whether or not this person is really ready to let this addiction go. Are they going to balance this out? Are they genuinely sorry? This person is trying to intuit, Taurus, how much you actually know about this addiction. You know, did Taurus know all the gory details? Did somebody tell Taurus? Or is this something Taurus found out on the grapevine? Or did they find out something online? I mean, I don't know what this was. But they're trying to use their intuition, Taurus, as to how much you actually know, because they don't want to talk about it. So, what you're hoping, Taurus, is that this is it. The drama's all died down. There's going to be no more arguments, disagreements, chaos, conflict. You're hoping this person has taken control of whatever this was. You may, Taurus, if you're moving into more of a compassionate energy, because this was a shock for you, you may talk to this person about counselling, if that's relevant. You may talk to this person about some kind of self-help group. If they wave that away and say, oh, for God's sake, no, then I think, Taurus, you're simply going to reiterate that if you find out that they ever get pulled back into doing this again, you will walk, you will leave. Whether or not this is an older child who's living at home, whether or not this is a family member or your partner, you will leave them to it. You'll just detach. And you know, Taurus, they don't want you to do that. So in your hopes, judgment, you're hoping you would have made the right decision in saying, okay, let's try and mend this, or let's try and forget about this and move into a fresh cycle. You're hoping for transformation, okay? You're hoping also that once they stop this pattern of behavior, your finances are going to improve. So whatever this addiction was, it may have cost money, okay? Page of Wands, you're going to come up with a bright idea. Let's have a look at the Page of Wands, Taurus. The Empress. Wow. Taurus, your strength is incredible. Your resilience is incredible. You've taken this information in a very calm manner, even though inside you might have been flawed. You have looked at all the avenues, you've looked at the facts, and you're saying, okay, this happened, but this can be brought into a place of peace. Let's see, Taurus, what you are suggesting here. Three of Wands. Taurus, you may suggest to this person that you go away for a period of time. If this is a family member who is struggling with some kind of addiction, you may suggest to this person that you both go to some kind of facility for a few months. Okay, so you're near this person. You could, Taurus, if this is a partner, say to this person, I think we should have a brand new life. I mean, literally chucking all the cards in the air. You may suggest to this person, Taurus, that you sell up, you move, particularly if this addiction was fueled by something or someone in the local environment. You may be saying to this person, okay, I think we should just get out of this environment. They may be stuttering, saying to you, well, hang on, that's pretty major. You may say, well, sorry, but that's what I think we should do. And they will just agree. What is this person's reaction? Page of Cups. I think, Taurus, they are just so relieved that you're hanging on in there with them, because you could have left this person, you know, packed your bags, left the house, left them to it. I don't want to see you again. I can't believe this. No, Taurus, you've stuck with it. You've stuck with them. It's as if they can't believe it, but you're strong, Taurus, right? Page of Swords. You're very straight with them. I mean, this isn't you saying to them, oh, don't worry, darling, you know, giving them a hug. No, you're very straight. You're still a bit cold. You're being logical. You're being feet on the ground. And you are giving this person an option to start a brand new cycle with you, and you're hoping they will simply agree. I think what you're suggesting is creative. I think what you're suggesting is probably the right thing to do. Let's get you out of this environment, or let's move together. Yeah. And all you're asking this person to do is to work in partnership with you, to simply agree to this. You may say to this person, we're going to have to juggle money. You may say to this person, it's not going to be easy. But I think, Taurus, you feel this might actually do the trick. You could be moving from a town environment, maybe with a lot of distractions, to a small village somewhere. You may want to get this person ensconced in a life based in the countryside. This could be, Taurus, part of you wanting this person to look at healing themselves. And this could be something to do with cleaning up their act, right? Getting them outside into the fresh air, that sort of thing. Or Taurus, this could simply be you saying to this person, I can't be in this environment anymore because now every time I'm in this house or every time I walk around this town, I think about you and your addiction, or whatever this was. So this for you, Taurus, would enable you to heal, and you feel it will be the best thing for this person. Yes. 10 of Cups. Yeah. So Taurus, you may start off by taking this person away for a few days near water. This may also be a psychologically cleansing period of time for you both. And then, Taurus, you're going to discuss the details of uprooting and moving. What is the likely outcome, Archangel Michael, please? The outcome. The Sun. Wow. Taurus, you may go quite far afield. You may move to a different country even. Or you may move to a different state. Or you may move to a different area. Could be just a new town, but it's quite a way away from where you live now. I think, Taurus, with the energy of the Sun, The sun is all cleansing. The sun is warming. The sun is indicating a very bright future. I think, Taurus, you're going to see a huge change in this person. They're going to appreciate your resilience. I think this person is never going to move back into the shadow energy again. I think they've learned their lesson. And I think, Taurus, with you by their side, they're going to embrace this brand new life. This is a lovely ending to what has been a very challenging cycle, Taurus. But it's going to end well. Okay, guys? Beautiful. Ace of Pentacles, 10 of Cups, the Sun. Complete transformation. So my beautiful Taurians, I really hope that that's helped. I hope it's hit the right group of Taurians. Let me know. As always, drop me a comment down below in the description box. Take care of you guys. And of course, I will be back before you know it with your next set of readings. See you soon, Taurus. Bye now.